guys, my name is Ehsas and welcome back to the Banter Mirror. Hey guys, so today I'll be speaking about two important topics, one being online education and the other being the mental health of children during the pandemic. So talking about the first topic, online education. It has its pros and cons. Pros being that children are getting educated under their roofs, in the comfort of their homes and with their parents' guidance. If they are having any problems, the parents are there to help them and the teachers are always there. But talking about the cons, we haven't yet considered how many of these children have the resource to online education. You see, many of these students you teach every day on via internet or via anything, they need the net. They should have that resource to the net. But there are many poor families or underprivileged families who don't have this resource or don't have that connectivity to attend classes every morning. So as you see, there are many cons. If I have to list it, it would take a night. But I'm no expert and I can't speak a lot about this. So today we have a panel of guests and they are going to speak about this exact topic with our second topic for today. Our second topic is the mental health of children under the pandemic. Before the pandemic, before the coronavirus, before the COVID-19, children had fun. Children were busy playing outdoor games, playing with their friends, meeting their friends every day, or having night stays with their friends on a daily basis. But right now, it is quite impossible to spend a night in somebody else's house or go outdoor and play with your friends because you know there's a scare that you'll catch the coronavirus. Within these children, from the age group of 6 to 12, these children are very scared and are dealing with a lot of anxiety issues that their family members, that their friends, that their parents, especially their parents, might catch the virus. I heard the news and I saw the news that a family was dealing with this crisis and that child, they had a 5-year-old child in their house and the child was scared that even if their parents go to the washroom, they'll catch the virus. Children fear the most, like if you give them a matchstick, they are scared that that matchstick will catch fire. So, I am no expert to speak about this, but I'm concerned. I'm really concerned that these children might suffer some mental health issues due to the pandemic, due to the pressure of the pandemic, because of not meeting their friends on a daily basis. So let's talk to these experts. Let's meet the teachers who teach these students on a daily basis via internet. And let's talk to them. Let's get to know that how these children are dealing with these issues. Let's go. So our first guest on the panel today is Mrs. Shobha Nair. She is a teacher and a special educator. Let's get to know what she thinks.
Hello everyone, I'm Shobha, a teacher and a special educator by profession. Well, pandemic, it is a testing time for all of us, especially children. A bundle of joy. It's difficult for them. Everyone, I suppose parents must be feeling it too. It's difficult for them, they've got no school to go to, they've got no teachers, no friends. Actually, that's a second home for them. A place where they can vent out their energy. They can't go out to play. They don't have a routine. And I suppose they must be missing all this. And they're not able to understand why this is all happening. But I suppose as parents, we help them. They can get out of it. The fear and anxiety they have in them, they can get out of it if parents I suppose all parents must be doing so. They must be doing, and if they aren't, they should be doing so. Then I suppose they are like clay, they're like wet clay. They can be molded accordingly as you want. They can be guided with proper guidance, they can come out of it. They just need, it's not that they're not affected by tragedy or trauma. They are. They adapt to the situation very easily though. So with parents' guidance, they can come out of it. But parents have to follow these little guidelines which will help them to come out. First of all, parents should not show they have to know how to manage their fear, manage their anxiety. It should not come out in open. Talk to them about COVID, ask them, tell them what is important, washing hands regularly, staying safe at home. So these things will help them. They will tell them there's nothing to fear. We are with them. Love them all every day. Let them follow a routine like they used to in school. Let them play at home. Follow a routine, in fact, exercise in the morning, together, then breakfast, make breakfast together. These things really will help. Play with them, play Ludo, play chess, if possible, we can go down to play now, wearing masks, to play football with them or play badminton with them, spend good quality time with them. Let them feel everything is going to come to normal one day. We let's be on a positive note. We'll have to help them out. And last of all, keep a track on their online activities. That's very important because they might be misled. So that is a very important thing. And nonetheless, I suppose kids are very resilient. They can come out of it, of the fear and anxiety with parent guidance. Remember, we as parents are the drivers and the children are the co-passengers of the car you drive. So stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye for now.
Our second guest on the panel today is Dr. Shishir Agarwal. He is an MBBS, MD, and a DM. He has done his fellowship from Harvard Medical School, Boston, USA, and is a producer and a director and an actor in Hollywood as well as Bollywood. Let's get to know what he thinks.
Hello friends, I am Dr. Shishir Agarwal. One of my friends have asked me a question which I will be answering you today. Psychologically, children have a tendency to do exact opposite of what they are usually told to do. In the worrisome days of pandemic, children are now once locked up inside and now you can't say no to them regarding playing online games because right now outdoor games aren't the convenient and safe. So how do you keep them focused on studying and still not stress them out in the process? So this is a question which is going to answer right now. This pandemic is epidemic and this is on all over the world, all over the society. The most important thing to handle your children is to make a proper schedule. You have to write down the proper schedule at what time you have to get up, what time you have to go to the washroom, get ready for studies, or go to the breakfast table, and then from what time to what time you are studying. Online classes are going to be there. After online classes, you're supposed to take some rest. Then you have to go for lunch. After lunch, you have to go for studies. Then in evening, you can spend some time playing some games. Indulge yourself with the children. You can play a lot of games indoors itself. You can play like carom board or like chess, ludo, or crossword. There are a lot of games available which can be played inside the home. You have to be actively participating along with your children to play those indoor games. Then only those children will be able to divert their mind from mobile phone games towards you. Children adopt to new things very well. You can always order something from Amazon or any online website. You can get some indoor games for them, and they can play a lot of indoor games. And try to include a lot of new activities into their schedule throughout the day by playing different games. During this lockdown, it is a perfect time to learn something new. If you go to YouTube or if you go online, there are a lot of channels, there are a lot of classes available for different musical instruments. And if you want to learn a different language, so this is the best time to learn a different language. Like some people are interested in learning French or different languages. They can take the online classes from YouTube and they can learn those languages. If somebody wants to learn musical instrument like guitar or piano or tabla or something like that, this is the perfect time for the children to adopt to a new habit of learning a new instrument. So you have to spend time with the children. You have to put your phone on the side and you have to give time to your children. Then only you can expect your children to be supportive with you and spend time with you. So this is the main thing, and the proper scheduling is very important. Proper sleep is very important. Make sure that their screen time is very less. Allow them to play games on mobile as well, but fix a time for that. That from this time to this time, for 30 minutes or like 40 minutes, whatever suits you, fix the time for that. That for this much time you can play online games, not before that, not after that. Don't let them be on the screen for a longer period of time because it will be very much harmful for their brain and their eyes. So try to reduce their screen time, try to reduce your screen time as well. Being a parent, your screen time should be very less as well. Kids adopt what they see from the parents. You have to reduce your screen time, automatically their screen time will also reduce. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Our third guest on the panel today is Shahana Sengupta. She's lead faculty and center head at Creonsler. Let's look at her perspective. Let's get to know how she thinks about this topic.
Hi, Ehsas. Hello, everyone. Well, to answer your question, Ehsas, I think it's not only them. Few days ago, I read an article which said 43 lakh disabled children are going to drop out this year because of their inability to cope up with online education. Now, before I answer whether online education is a good thing or a bad thing or meant for them, let me first tell you about the internet usage and also the internet usage in terms of online education. According to a report by the KPMG, according to a survey conducted by KPMG, the report said that online education in India is about to grow 9 times and reach some 1.96 billion US dollar. I mean the online education market. And in that, K-12 education, I mean primary and secondary education of little children, itself is about to grow 60% of what it is now. And they are expecting some 773 million USD market share of K-12 education itself. Now, with the pandemic situation, the pandemic situation came after this survey was conducted. Now, with the pandemic situation that we have right now, we can only predict that this figure will be much higher than what it is predicted. The report also said that there is some 31% internet penetration in our country right now, and we have some 409 million users. And by 2021, they are expecting that this figure will grow to 735 million users. And that will include the semi-urban and the rural areas also. Now, Ehsas, I want to tell you over here that government and some private players are, they are planning and they have also started implementing some projects like Swayam, E-Basta, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, Skill India, Digital India. These projects are designed to bring the internet, to bring the power of online medium to these people, to the people of rural areas, backward areas, to families who are below the poverty line, to students who are living in those areas and do not have access to mainline education. Now, answering your question, that is online education the best form of education for these little children? Well, I believe that whatever little exposure they are getting, even some education is better than no education at all. And today, young children are more tech savvy than what the scene was few years ago. So a lot of families who are not able to, who are not, who cannot afford to send their children to expensive schools and high quality education, they can at least afford a basics model of smartphone. And yes, children are using smartphones even in rural areas, even in backward areas. Children are getting access to smartphones. Now, what I feel is the need of the hour is apps, educational software that will be affordable to these people and will also give them good quality education, give good quality education to these little children. So I think that would be a better solution, and I am sure government is taking some steps towards this direction.
And our fourth guest today is Pranisha Chaudhary. She is a class 8 student and I really want to know her perspective. Let's go.
No, I don't enjoy online classes much. I feel school was much better as I could interact with friends, teachers. Sometimes we used to speak non-verbally and ask each other for pen or pencil. So I miss that bonding. And moreover, during online sessions, a lot of technical issues occurs. Yes, I miss school a lot, chatting with friends, eating our tiffins together, the programs that were conducted. And in school, we used to get a lot of free time, but at home, our parents always forced us to study.
In conclusion to what we have gathered from this entire conversation is that online education has kept our lives going, but we are seriously wishing that the pandemic ends soon and we get back to our normal lives as soon as possible. Thank you so much to all the panelists today, and I'm really grateful they've spoken today. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please press that like button, please press that subscribe button, and do comment your suggestions and your reviews in the comment section below. Please be sure to view my previous videos as well. There are some really exciting topics that I've done in the recent times. So please be sure to check out those videos. I'll link them in the description box below as well. And I'll meet you guys in my next video. Till then, stay healthy, stay at home, and be safe. Bye bye.